Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast. And today we're talking about getting your PhD. And to do that, we have on the show with us Shane Eames, Premier Hitting Development. Shane, how you doing, buddy?
Doing well. Trying to weather this storm out, man. It is brutal right now. Thank goodness we're indoor and not outdoor.
Right. I don't think there's going to be much baseball played today.
No. But the only thing that's going to happen is indoor training at this point.
Yep. Looks like there's some good baseball going on right now around the city, isn't there?
Absolutely. Glad to see everything get kicked off. Hopefully the weather's going to get a little bit more conducive to consistent gameplay, but so far so good.
Yeah. And your son goes where? High school? Seckman.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I guarantee what grade is he?
He's a senior.
I guarantee I saw your son play against Washington.
Yep.
You guys, they were in the Troy Classic.
Tournament, yes.
Yeah. They came back and beat Washington. They were down 8-1, and they're off to a pretty good start, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah, it's a good ball club. It's ran well. It's organized, and they set a school record for wins last year with I believe 21 or 22 wins. So, hopefully all goes well.
Yeah, I was watching as they started. They got some really good athletes up and down the lineup there. They got some kids that can put good swings on the baseball.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So where did your son plays what position?
He's a pitcher.
He's a pitcher. Okay.
He's decided to perfect the craft of that.
That's the tough one, isn't it?
Absolutely. Came to a point where he wanted to prioritize that. And, it was a tough issue for him to kind of come to me to say that, but he's got to do what's best for him.
Absolutely. I love that stuff. So let's get into this. We're Premier Hitting Development. You wrote an outline here. This is dated 2022, and you started with an overview. And we've discussed this at different times and talking about hitting. And I really enjoyed being down there talking with you with Braxton in that workout. And big shout out to Braxton having a great spring, right?
Absolutely. He's ended up the Major League camp at hitting right around 420, 430. Had quite a few extra base hits. One strikeout. So that's the thing I'm most proud of with him. But he signed to the AA ball club today. He's playing for the Rock City Trash Pandas and hopes to getting called up here sooner than later. Absolutely.
So you started off and you said, the reason for this book. So talk to us a little bit about the reason you put this into paper and you wrote this here.
But probably the main reason why I put it together was COVID hit. We eliminated work for about 3.5 months. I had a ton of people reach out to me and said, hey, I want to do whatever I can do at home to continue to develop and get better. I sat down with pen and paper with sort of like a game plan and an outline that I wanted to kind of put together and just kind of went to work on it. And I used it more for that issue, with the communication gap with the kids, not being able to translate a message and, kind of spearheaded that. From there, I put together a drill book and sent it out, and we did Zoom lessons for about 3.5 months. So I thought it was really beneficial for the kids to understand why. Why do we need to do this to get better? Why is it, now we are trying, we're starting to kind of evolve with the thought process and things are a little bit different. So my thing for them is if you understand the why, the how becomes much easier.
Agreed. And it's curious to me asking this question. When you were writing this, did it help you understand the process even a little better, being able to maybe even translate the information a little better?
Absolutely. I mean, you categorize things, you prioritize things. And I think by doing that, it becomes articulated a lot better for the kids, and just an order of events, and I think the more that they can understand and continue to study that, the easier it is for them to make adjustments on their own and train at home. And another reason why I put it together was for the parents. If the parents are not involved in their child's development, especially at young ages, that is very, very crucial, because they don't understand a lot of things that we do try to articulate to them. The more they can go back and reference the outline and work with their children, I think the developmental aspects become much easier. I see them one day a week. Their parents see them every day. So, I'm trying to get the parents to understand that, why are we doing this? This is an investment into their future. If you don't protect the investment, you can't expect them to get maximum results. And at the end of the day, some people see a lot of good results. Some people don't at first. It's a process. It's a process of turning around tens of thousands of swings that have been taken a certain way. And getting them to understand that if they don't embrace the process, they will not develop the way they think they're going to develop. A lot of people just assume because you come to a professional hitting coach, well, my son's going to be better. That's not necessarily the case. They have to put in the work, but they have to understand why. They have to understand little intricate things. It's so much more than just swinging the bat.
Yeah. The foundational structure, I think, is key. I love how you put that. And, it's interesting when you talk about that to me, Shane. If the foundational pieces are there, and a parent, it's like you get homework, come home from school. Your parents have been through that. They know their times tables, maybe up until calculus, or even, trigonometry, you might be done. But, the basis of those things of, you went through your times tables, your kid, the spelling and all those things. If that structure is laid out and they have the language and the understanding of that, they can help their kids work through those drills.
Absolutely, because I want them to learn as much as I want their children to learn. Like I said, they're going to see them way more than I am. So the biggest aspect is that, and quite frankly, I care. They're not just a number to me. When they're my client, I'm invested 110% in their development in any possible way that I can. I've had many discussions, not just about the science of hitting and what that is. It's the mental aspect too, and the grind of, just being able to overcome obstacles.
Yeah. The one thing here too, because I highlighted a few things in this overview that I thought that really struck me. And the one thing here that, if people read, you put in here, this program represents that fundamental change, because you're bringing this into a different perspective. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, the fundamental change is just, kind of misrepresentation of what the swing, I believe, has always been, but what we were taught based on, just kind of a guesswork, trial and error or assumption. Getting back to 2015, 2016, when I really started to try to kind of change things, just watching more video. Social media has been a huge influence, traveling around, talking to other instructors, networking with them, and just trying to find creative ways to continue to better myself, which betters my kids, my players, and it just betters our whole program. And, for me, there's been a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of different philosophies. A lot of people have different philosophies. They embrace those philosophies, but not a lot of people embrace change of their philosophy. So if I don't continue to evolve and get better, how can I expect my clients to evolve and get better? So when people come to me with fundamental issues that they've had for years, and I'm teaching a different way, I can understand why they had those fundamental issues before when it was taught a little bit differently. We do want the knob to go to the ball, but unfortunately, we taught before the knob down to the ball. Well, that's not necessarily the case. It's knob up to the ball. They didn't want the shoulders to ever kind of tilt at all. Well, we found out through a lot of research and studying and looking at other people's concepts that the shoulders have to tilt. They create direction. It's not just based upon the principles of pivot your back foot and take the knob down to the ball. It's just not that. It's way different.
The construction of things sometimes, when you, and to be sure, and we'd love to hear some comments here, please. If you're enjoying this and you're thinking about what Shane just said, please comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Love to hear that. Hit that like button too, because that helps us and whatnot. But I just that fundamental change in the construction of how we see things, Shane. Video and the technology has helped us progress in those things, correct?
Absolutely. 100% helped us in just understanding what to look for in different cues in video. But once again, it's not just, that I'm coming up and I'm inventing the wheel.
Right.
I didn't invent the wheel, but I studied it. I studied the process. I leaned on different people, different instructors, different coaches, and kind of formed my own opinion of what I believe is a swing that can compete at a pretty high level. There's a lot of people that construct different theories and philosophies. Have nothing but a ton of respect for people that do this, and some people agree with it, some people might not agree with it, but it works for me. It works for my clients, and it works for a lot of people across the country. I mean, it's evolution.
I think it's very interesting as you're looking at this too, when you're talking about putting something like this together. We always talk about talent, and we all understand talent has to be there too. But sometimes there's talent there, and somebody doesn't necessarily know how to how do I want to say this? Bring their talent out, for lack of a better way to put it. Correct?
Absolutely. I mean, you're born with talent. You have to make yourself into a better player, better person, better hitter, better fielder, anything in the game. And it really starts to get magnified when talent at 8, 9, 10, 11 years old is superior. But when they get to 14 or 15, the struggle points start to come in, and they are either going to get better and evolve, or a lot of guys don't play anymore just because of that fact. Your talent only takes you so far, but it's how you prepare yourself. It's how you continue to get better, because everybody else is getting better. So at 10 years old, when Johnny's bigger, stronger, and faster, at 14, everybody's caught up to Johnny. So you're either going to get better or you're going to go somewhere else and play a different sport.
Exactly. And I think that's so interesting, because in here you have it's interesting, you have the Conor McGregor, the UFC champion, his quote, there's no talent here. This is hard work. I'm not talented. I'm obsessed. And I mean, that kind of just exacerbates the points you're making. I think Conor McGregor's talented. You can see he has talent.
But he's hungry.
There you go. I don't think that you have to put yourself in a position where you say, I just got to do enough, or just enough here, just enough there. It is a factor. If you're going to play at a high level, you have to decide how much of your talent are you going to bring out, because the work is what exacerbates or brings the talent to the top.
Absolutely. I mean, and I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with getting better every day, because if I get better every day, my clients get better. What can I do today to make my program better? That's my fundamental goal. And I talk to the guys and my girls all the time. If we can get 1% better every day, that's 365% better every year. And that's, you wake up with those principles every day. I'm constantly chasing new ideas, new drills, new fundamental ways to get it across them. But it's the communication aspect that I pride myself in, by giving them vehicles like the hitting outline, the drill book. I send numerous videos on a weekly basis. I come out to see my clients perform. I take video of their in-game at-bats. I have them send me game at-bats. I am obsessed with it because it's my passion. I love it. And I'll continue to do it as long as I possibly can.
And the other thing, what you just said there, and I wanted to bring this up, and it kind of goes into a segue. You said the girl, you have in here, 99% of what you do here translates right over to softball, to the ladies and the softball swing.
Absolutely. That's another misconception. There's a baseball swing and a softball swing. No, It's a swing. The fundamental aspects are the same, for baseball and softball. I think a lot of people misconcept that because it's a different sport. It's women versus men. I've got a lot of high level girls and young women who hit the ball extremely well, and it's the same fundamental aspects of that. But I think that people just want to be different. But in my opinion, it's not different. I'm a hitting guy. I'm not a slapper. I have no idea how to teach slapping. So if somebody comes to me and say, hey, I want to learn how to slap, I send them to another instructor that knows how to fundamentally do that. I'm not going to guess on how I'm going to do that. My job is a hitting instructor. I'm not a slap instructor. That's a fundamental difference between baseball and softball is the short game. Unfortunately, I don't have that skill set to teach that. So I'm not gonna try to teach a softball player a slap. I'm not going to do it because I don't know how to do it fundamentally. I don't invest the time and the effort into doing that because I'm so enamored with what I'm doing from the swing aspect of it. So I'll refer them to somebody that knows how to do it and wish them the best of luck. But I'm not a slap coach. I'm a hitting coach.
I love that. That's fair, baby. I dig that.
I'm not going to pretend like I know what I'm doing and give somebody the false pretense that they're going to get better. When I'm looking at it, I'm going, I have no idea. I don't understand the footwork. I've really not kind of delved into that because I've been so enthralled in my process and trying to improve what I do from a swing perspective, not a slapper's perspective. So there's a lot of good coaches that teach that, and I refer them. And if they do that job, I'll do mine.
Very good. Last point here within this, as it highlights, you're constantly working to improve themselves. The hitters who make it are those who are constantly working to improve themselves. And you've brought this up with yourself throughout this whole discussion about, and to finally obsessed with getting better, continually improving, continually evolving, and looking at opportunities of how I can help these athletes get better. Is there an expectation then for the athlete with that, the same thought process?
I think there is. I mean, I think everybody should set the bar pretty high. I mean, if you're not setting the bar high, why are we doing this? If your expectations aren't to be great, then why are we doing this? I think everybody fundamentally can get better. And the higher they do set that bar, I think it motivates them. It pushes them. I mean, be phenomenal or be forgotten. They only remember the great. So if you don't want to be great, why are we doing this? I'm not processing anything to make average athletes. I'm trying to produce as much as I possibly can to give them opportunities to play at a very high level. Some people do, some people don't. Some people it's maybe a lack of effort, but some people it isn't a lack of effort. And that's where you do run into aspects of, some guys are born to hit and they're really good athletes and they can they have the adaptability and the process to understand the movement patterns a little bit easier because maybe they're a little bit more mobile, they're more flexible, they're physically stronger, they have fast twitch aspects where some kids work their tails off and they only get to a certain level. But at the end of the day, I mean, really, are we just teaching baseball swings? Or are we teaching life? Because I know a lot of guys that, played at a lower level of college that are working at Fortune 500 companies based upon the principles that we taught them, not just about the swing, but how to be accountable, how to be detailed, how to be meticulous in your thought process and your work. And I'm proud of that just as much as I see guys playing at D1 levels and big leagues and stuff like that. So, at the end of the day, we are teaching a sport, but I pride myself on it's just more than a sport to me. And that comes back, seeing people like Augie Garrido, who was my all-time favorite. What a great individual, what a great motivator. In my opinion, the greatest college baseball coach in history. There
you go. So to your point, and that's something that I think is very interesting because we talk about talent, and I think talent lives within those situations, as you were talking about fast twitch muscles, hand-eye coordination. Your talent is only going to take you so far anyway, and the work. And then once you reach that level, it is what it is, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, you can be as talented as you want, but if you don't put in a lot of effort and attention to detail, that talent takes you so far and then you're done.
Exactly. And I think we talk about these things quite a bit. I've always believed in these things. Um, we talked about this here on the show this last Monday with Mitch. I've always believed this. I know people talk about winning. Everybody wants to win, 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 win. And I will tell people, I know there's people out there who go, well, we don't concern ourselves with winning. I concern myself with winning every single day because of the approach of the attitude of the mind. If I'm not, because winning doesn't just necessarily always mean a result. How I prepare myself in a day for my job, for my family, for everything that I do, the preparation that I put into my life as far as a believer in Jesus Christ, who I am in my faith, how I think, how I'm moving, how I deal with my business and making decisions is about preparation, about understanding, about learning, about taking those steps in everything you do that way, because all you really get is an opportunity, correct?
Absolutely. I mean, I hate to lose more than I love to win, but at the end of the day, preparation, attention to detail, attitude, effort, energy, all those factors mean something to me. And, people predicate that, win at all costs. I mean, I want to win, but I want to do things the right way. So, and a lot of hitters kind of go through a lot of issues where they think, failure is not getting a base hit every time they come to the plate. Hit the ball
Right.
hard. It's going to get caught, but if there's consistency with what they do and they barrel up balls, I mean, they have to understand that they're not failing in that situation. And that's, a lot of the obstacles become a mental process too, because there is a lot of pressure to perform. You're paying thousands of dollars to play club baseball, and people want to see results, and it puts a lot of pressure on these kids. And they forget that, we're playing a game here. It should be fun. You shouldn't come to the plate with a BB in your tailpipe, with a game on the line. You just go out and compete, have fun. But at the end of the day, embrace that process. So win, lose, or draw, I mean, we're playing a game here. But it's a game that can be very beneficial, and not just performance on the field, but performance in life.
Absolutely. And like I said, and that kid comes up there and you want him focused on the positive things, that approach, all those things that have taken him there, because that one opportunity, I want that opportunity. That's all I have. And as you said, that's what's interesting. That kid just smokes one at the shortstop and bang, he comes up with the backhand and throws you out. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely not. It's part of the game, So you also look at, you're a hero 1 second, you're a goat the next. You come up 0 for 3 on the day with a runner in third and less than 2 outs, you get a base hit. Nobody forgets the 0 for 3. Now you're 1 for 4 and you're a hero. Same thing, you come up 3 for 3 with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and you strike out looking. Nobody remembers the 3 hits that you got prior to that at bat. So embrace it, love it, and just kind of move on. Whether you're successful that day or not, you got to compete. You got to go to the yard every day, and you got to pray. And I talk a lot to my clients. What would you rather be? 0 for 4 one day, or 4 for 4 the next day, or 2 for 4 every day? I want to be 2 for 4 every day. I'm not chasing perfection. I'm chasing consistency.
I love that, because I do. I say this all the time. You can ask my kids. I believe consistency breeds success.
Absolutely.
I believe in that very much. Yeah. And the other thing too with these kids is the opportunity. And as you said, you have all these other players and whatnot, Fortune 500, they're, because they weren't afraid of those moments. Their talent took them that way, but they're in these positions because they were well prepared, and it helped them understand how to compete at that level as well.
Absolutely. You give them structure, you give them goals, you give them, little things like that, and that carries on past the game of baseball. And you see it now with everybody being as successful as they are. But that's what drives me to put together like that hitting outline, the drill books, the videos. You have to give them a blueprint for success. And if you don't give them a blueprint every week and a structure, they can't prioritize what they need to work on for that week. So for me, it's setting up a game plan every week. The first of every month, this coming month, we test. We'll get our video session in. We do our analytics. And then we come up for a game plan the next 3 weeks to get better. And this is what we're going to do. But it's prioritizing each individual on what they need to do to get better. It's not just, okay, here's a bland set of 3 or 4 drills we're going to do for everybody. I don't do it that way, because the 3 or 4 drills that might help one guy or girl doesn't necessarily help the next guy or girl. So you come up with a different plan for each individual for them to meet their needs, not just swing the bat.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Shane Eames, folks, we're going to get our PhD here in hitting, and we're going to have Shane on the show more regularly. He's agreed to come on, be part of what we're doing here at Youth Baseball Midwest, and we're really pleased to have him here. Also, Shane, we're looking forward to it. We're going to have him out at the Game 7 tournaments. We're going to have him out at the tent doing some demonstrations, having some fun. We're looking forward to that, man.
Absolutely. We're going to put together some cool aspects, do some video analysis, have some fun, and try to continue to promote the sport and just trying to make everyone as good as they possibly can be.
That'll be fun out there. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having you out there. So there'll be more details coming up for that. Shane, thanks, man.
My pleasure.
Outstanding. Shane Eames, folks. Premier Hitting Development. Follow him on Facebook at Premier Hitting Development. So make sure you go there and follow him there. All right. Everybody, keep working hard. Do what you got to do. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. And here's the best one. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters, hit them where they ain't, right?
Absolutely.
We'll see y'all next time.